Hello there. Welcome to another episode of Flash Zellow, fiction done fast. Yeah, I had to check that was actually the thing. Welcome back to the show. This is where I take a bunch of writing prompts and then write one-page short stories based on them. So, happy you can be here for it. As per usual, we're going to take a minute to kind of hang out and just see if anybody rolls in. But, we'll see what happens. Sooner or later, I'm going to have to stop messaging all my friends and saying, hey, I'm going to be on Twitch. If you just want to, pop in just so that I'm not talking to myself, that'd be real nice. But I actually... everything about this Twitch channel has been kind of neat to know, because anyone who's watched my writing process, I am neurotic as hell, and I'm obsessive, which has its upsides and its downsides. But in this case, I tried really hard to avoid going full bore, if that makes sense. So I could kill hours working on this, but I made a promise to myself that I would only invest very little time outside the stream into the stream as it is currently. I didn't want to, I'm trying to think of how to put this. It would almost be like buying a gold-plated gaming computer and being like, I'm gonna be a gamer now. It's like, that's not how... I'm gonna be the new Markiplier. Jacksepticeye, watch out. It's putting the cart before the horse, so to speak. So I told myself I would only work on the stream outside of the stream as needed. And so what I figured out how to do... it's only the 8th stream, but I figured out how to make tags and added a category. So theoretically, I'm not even going to pretend to understand how Twitch works, but theoretically, people browsing around the platform could track me down, could find me. And so not everyone in the stream is going to just be a friend of mine from high school or college. Not that I don't appreciate them, but I love all of you equally. I also... Let's see, did it work? Is it working? I tried to... Hello! Hello, welcome to chat. Feel free to drop any prompts you have here. That sounds vaguely official. And let's see if it actually works. Yeah, chat should be popping up right there with, fading into the background where it's just incredibly hard to read for anyone. I'm figuring it out. It's a little thing, right? Okay. So, looks like we've got 1 or 2 people floating about in the chat. If you want, you can sound off. If not, you don't have to. Peer pressure's cool and all. Actually, I know, since he's actually driving home right now, I can't, they might see it later, but I had 2 friends, both of whom who have been in the chat at various points, or at least one of them was lurking. When they met early in college, one of them walked up to the other and handed him a flask and said, hey, drink this. To which the younger one said, what's in it? And the older one said, I don't know, peer pressure's cool though, isn't it? The younger one had no reply, so he just drank it. And then I abused this knowledge by convincing him to drink all sorts of shit that he shouldn't have been drinking. So... good times. I might have said this before, but it's always the expectations that come with telling stories like that, because people tend to assume that you still behave like this. And it's like, no, I haven't drank or partied like that in a long time, but people start to expect you to. So when you show up to a party and you're like, I'm going to have a beer or two, and then I'm going to not do anything crazy. There's almost a disappointment, but... Let's see. One other fun thing, just throwing this out there for anyone who cares. There's a stray cat. Actually, there's a bunch of... There's some feral cats and then a stray cat. And the stray cat desperately wants to come inside, but I live in a no-pet place. And he is a huge sweetheart. The neighbors have taken to calling him Bedsheet. I just call him Bud. Or Bug. But, because he's a love bug. I'm so ungodly allergic to cats that when I was walking in today, about 20 minutes ago, I was wearing shorts and he decided he needed to rub up against my legs, and they are unbelievably itchy. Even though I walked inside and immediately washed them. It's not the worst. They're not breaking out in hives. They're just itchy. But it's amazing how bad my allergies have gotten over the last couple years, because it didn't used to be this bad. But, you know, here we are. Well, then... Oh, I've got... Is there something there? Oh, that's just the fiancé. She's not that important right now. She's very important. She might be watching. I have no idea. Alright, well, we've given it a couple of moments to see if anyone will roll in. My legions of fans. So, here's what we do. We read the prompts that we've got. Always feel free to throw them out at any time. And we're gonna just kind of see what we've got to work with today. So, an evangelical group tries to convince a pop star that she has died and gone to hell so she can come back to life and deliver their message to her legions of fans. The Last Ramen Shop in Brooklyn, Post-Apocalypse 2097, and Radiation has evolved animals to gain heightened brain capabilities. Lone survivor has to navigate through a cityscape overrun by radiated raider animals. The world is spiraling out of control because God forgot to update the Universe 1.0 firmware. He finally remembers right as the Earth is about to implode. Werewolf plus gun equals revenge. Werewolf minus gun equals romance. Werewolf times gun equals mecha wolf. And werewolf divided by gun equals dead wolf. You guys love to fuck with me. Locals speak in whispers about the hills in the... Okay. Can I do... So I actually grew up in the Midwest in a small farm town with like 3,000 people. Some of my family still very much has the accent. I don't. And sometimes I can slip into it, and sometimes it completely escapes me, but I don't think I can do it. But locals speak in whispers about the hills and the forest. They warn to never travel alone, and under no circumstances should you let your flesh touch the plant life. Some say that like the webs of a spider's lair, the pants announce your... Oh my god. Oh no. Oh, it's totally... Oh. Some say that, like the webs of a spider's lair, the pants announce your presence. Tip something larger to the hills. Oh, you know, I knew there were some typos in that, but I hadn't actually read it close enough to be like, oh, I am imagining just like, I'm not even imagining jeans, I'm imagining like dress slacks, just a forest strewn with dress slacks, just some unfortunate tailor spider who's like, this is all I have to work with, damn it. Oh, shout out to Escape from Bloodkeep if anyone likes D&D streams. That one is hilarious, and that actually kind of becomes a plot point. It's amazing. And then lastly, the most recent prompt we got was, I have a prompt idea for you. Little atypical. This animated short, TW Sheep Attempt, trigger warning, Sheep Attempt Suicide, Cosmos Laundromat, First Cycle, Official Blender Foundation release, was supposed to have a sequel, but it has since been canceled. My prompt is, then, what happens after the ding at the end can be up to 800 words. So here's the thing. I never watched this, so we're gonna watch it together. I think it's 12 minutes. Okay. No, we're gonna go on this. I mean, I got one viewer right now. This is a very extended prompt. Am I allowed to say I don't like this? This is so... This is very dark. The animation's beautiful.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me? Oh, come on. You have a moment, sir. I'm kind of in the middle of something here. Yes, thank you. I've come a long way for you, Frank. My name is Victor.
Oh god, it's me.
Hi.
I mean,
You are...
me with a bit more hair.
You are Frank. Oh, you are so much more than just a sheep, aren't you? Oh, yeah? How would you know? Look at you. You're an adventurer, Frank. Just like me. You're a lone wolf. Tell me, does one choose to be alone? No, one doesn't. One doesn't even choose to be a wolf.
But he's a sheep.
Or does one?
What? I'm so confused.
Well, Mr. Hector,
Victor.
I don't know what you're on about, but I'm just a sheep minding its own business. I suggest you do the same.
No, Frank, wait. No, this is not the way. Just give me 1 minute of your precious time.
Precious time?
Yeah, just give me 1 minute. You would have 1 more minute, wouldn't you? Okay, half a minute. I knew it. You will not regret this. The adventures you will have. All the lives you ever wanted. All you've been missing. Here, this is the best car that we have in store. Variable spin speed, excellent tumble performance in one handy device. Squeaky clean.
Well, this better be good. It took me ages to tie that rope with my fucking hoofs.
No waiting for this. No more sheepy business. Oh. Time flies.
Wait. How does this thing work? I mean, how do I make it work?
No, you don't. I just turned it on for you.
When can I go? Where can I go?
We'll pick you up. Don't worry. Just stay here. In this exact place. Don't move. Just wait.
That's it? Hey! Hey! Wait! Mister! Casper! After whatever!
Okay. I'm just gonna, I have a prompt idea for you, little atypical. This animated short, trigger warning, sheep attempts suicide, was supposed to have a sequel, but it has since been cancelled. My prompt is then, what happens after the dig at the end? Can be up to 800 words. That is atypical. Alright. That's a lot more than your regular prompts. I might have to sit on that. Because that was a lot to take in. It's very, very pretty. Very beautiful. You know, truth be told, I'm almost... Like, it's that almost feels like the kind of ending that almost feels like the kind of ending that you could very, very easily fuck up, mostly. Because it gives you more of a feeling than anything else, without saying anything concrete. And that's, oh boy. Without saying anything concrete. So you end up with, you run into this with, I feel like this is kind of the same issue that J.J. Abrams ran into, where I feel like this is kind of the issue J.J. Abrams ran into with the Star Wars movies is, he didn't kind of have any concrete answers to a lot of the questions he was throwing out there. And so when it came time to answer them, the answers were never satisfying. So, hey, thanks to anyone who sat through that with me. It's a beautiful little short film. I am definitely going to sit on that. If I do that today, it's at least not going to be the first one I do. That's a bit much. I gotta kind of take that in and let it sit for a second. Is right. Yes, Cass loves music. So I've been sitting on this one since we started. And I definitely think I should give this one a shot. 13, 14. Okay. So we're gonna copy that. But I forgot to set this up before the stream started. Oh well. Can just 156. Oh no. Maybe someday, right? No reason this couldn't just kind of keep going. This is a fun little side project. Okay. And 16. So back to 14. So one of the things that I've thought about this one, an evangelical group tries to convince a pop star she's died and gone to hell so she can come back to life and deliver their message to her legions of fans, is there's actually a lot in this prompt. And I can see it going, there is a silliness to it, but I also think that there's something incredibly dark to it. I can see this as the, bumbling, almost, I don't know, it almost gives off, a Venture Brothers vibe to me, but I haven't watched nearly enough of that show, and not for years, for me to say one way or the other. It's just kind of the vibe I'm getting. But, excuse me. Tone-wise, it kind of I keep coming back to Red State, for anyone who's seen that movie by Kevin Smith, where it does not feel like Kevin Smith. It just is insane and kind of dark and upsetting. Oh, look, I'm really thirsty. So I think one of the other sides of it. So you've got a tone question of, do we go dark and serious, or do we go... Something just popped up in my chat. I don't know what that is. What is that? I don't know what I'm looking at. Oh, alright. I'm sure that's nothing. Anyways, he said, side-eyeing his own chat. So first we'll write this out, do what we do. So, the other side of it, so you've got the tone question. The other question is, what part of this are we actually writing? Are we writing the scene where they are actively trying to convince her? Like, so she comes to, and there's these people who are like fake angels or, whatever. Or are we on the other end, where, I'm almost imagining like, Cabin in the Woods, where it's traditional horror, and then we cut to the basement lab compound, and it's a lot of, business people in suits kind of talking about, apocalyptic ideas in very business-like terms. The movie has such a damn good cast. I'm gonna start there, I think. I'm gonna start there, and I think I'm gonna try for the kind of cabin in the woods thing. Oh, I need a name for a pop star. I need names. I hate names. Ugh. Kimberly. What? Kimberly. Kimberly. Hmm. Okay. Kimberly, the voice echoed around the young woman as she floated in a sea of white. It came from everywhere and yet nowhere. It permeated all of reality around her. Okay, so we're gonna... Okay, so an evangelical troop tries to convince a pop star she has died and gone to hell. Oh, fuck, I didn't read that right, did I? She's in hell? Fuck. Okay, I can save that. I thought she was just in the afterlife. Oh, no. Oh. Right, okay. This is why I'm supposed to read these multiple times so that I don't just wander off on my own. Okay. An evangelical group. Okay. She's got to hell. Oops. And you have lived a sinful life. Great, this is just a conversation with my family is fun. Okay. Well, John, you have lived a sinful life. Dimmed around or changing into you. So this is just literally Emperor's New Clothes, Emperor's New Clothes by Panic at the Disco. It's just the opening of that, where it's like, oh, this is nice, and then it's hell, and now she's gonna turn into a demon. No, it's a hoax. Welcome to the end of eras. Ice has melted back to life. Done my time and served my sentence. Dress me up and watch me die. If it feels good, tastes good. Okay. Sycophants and velvet sauces, lavish mansions, vintage wine. Okay. Therefore, Okay. So, do I have to come up with their message? Is there a way I can work around this? Okay. No, it's fine. This is such a weird one. Because there's actually power to my friend. This one has so much kind of compressed into a very short prompt that I'm a little, I don't know, man. There's a lot here, and I already fucked it up once. So, voice boss considering his flames. Is that a Castiel quote from Supernatural? Give yourself over to the service of God and his angels. That feels... That feels like something that they had in all of the, like, Road So Fars. I'm just getting a bunch of biblical stuff, but I am like 90% sure. Anybody in the chat want to go Google that? And tell me what episode of Supernatural that is. God, I need to finish that show. I'm on season 12 of the intended 15. Okay. Voice pause, considering her as flames began. She whimpered. Would you give yourself over? A group, a fellowship, bub. Damn, okay. Middle-aged guts and bland ties watched. Season 4 somewhere, do you give yourself over wholly to the service of God and his angels? Yes! Still got it. Still can remember random television lines from shows I haven't seen in years. There's just so much Supernatural to rewatch. Okay, beyond the world of fire and light that dear little Kimberly was trapped in, a group of men with receding hair, middle-aged guts, and bland ties cheered at their viewing monitors. What are the old TVs called? CRT? They're old school. Cathode ray tube. Right. So this is something I've done. Ugh, I hate that word. Okay. Sometimes I have an idea for something later on, and so I will write it and then go back and try and like thread the story, connect it. Which I know other writers do that too, but on a larger scale, where it'll be like I'll write this chapter and then later on I'll write, the chapter, I'll write chapters that are separated by, whatever, and then later thread it together. I know Joss Whedon writes that way. He follows, like, problematic as he follows kind of the story where whatever he wants to write, he writes, and then later he strings it together. Okay. Okay. I know I'm bad at names, but I need to. I want to do a reference to something, and I just. Oh, come on. It's an article I read yesterday. It's wonderful. It's from the New Republic called "The Town That's Gone Feral." One free article. Fuck you. Okay. It's just been the same article over and over again, so. So it's about a group of libertarians who took over an entire town, and it went bad, and then the bears moved in. I'm just trying to see like who the guy who was in charge, what his name was, because it was just such a crazy article. I don't even know if I spelled that right. Whatever. In this case, I can't be sued. Right? That's how that works. She's gonna be a prophet. We're going. That's how of the new enlightenment. I actually think that's a thing that people use. The free. A radical enlightenment. Alright, that was a weird one. Oh, that was so weird. It's like, some, like, crazy bullshit Truman Show writing. Okay, I don't want to be that guy, but I'm gonna say this probably isn't my favorite one I've written. But the point is, we're here, and we did it. So let's do what we do. Kimberly. The voice echoed around the young woman as she floated in a sea of white. It came from everywhere, and yet nowhere. It permeated all of reality around her. The light was blinding, and she could find no purchase no matter how far she reached. "Hello?" she called back. "Where am I?" "You are in the arms of your savior," the voice boomed back at her. A panicked look crossed her face, stricken by the revelation. I can't be dead. I have a tour. I don't feel dead. I feel fine." "Alas, my child, you are, and you have lived a sinful life." "What?" the babbling blonde said. The lights dimmed around her, changing in hue. They went from brilliant white to the color of the sun as seen through the haze of a forest fire, a deep, rich red. It began to grow hot. "I can't go to hell?" The voice paused, considering her as the flames began to lick at her feet. She whimpered. She whimpered. It makes it sound like she's whimpering this line of dialogue. I guess I can just cut that. "Would you give yourself over to the service of God and his angels for a second chance at life?" "Do you give you..." Oh, I used to be able to do Castiel. Anyway, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'll practice. Next time, right? "Do you give yourself over wholly to the service of God and his angels?" God, it's just such a... Like, I can't believe he's done that for... Oh, if he was introduced in season 4, what is it? 10, 12 years? Anyways. "Would you give yourself over to the service of God and his angels for a second chance at life?" "Yes," she cried. "Yes, anything. I'll do anything." Beyond the world of fire and light that dear little Kimberly was trapped in, a group of men with receding hair, middle-aged guts, and bland ties cheered at their CRT viewing monitors. Barbara's... Nah, I need to just cut that. Their leader. That's fine. Their leader shushed them and turned back to his microphone. He clicked on. "Will you deliver my message to your fans around the world if I return you to your life?" The poor girl was openly sobbing. "Yes, I swear." A grin that was too wide for his face stretched from ear to ear. He took his hand off the receiver. "Gentlemen, we have found the prophet of the radical enlightenment." They withheld their cheers as he flipped the microphone again. "Then, my dear, I return your life to you. Then, my dear, we have a deal." Bum, bum, bum. Alright. It's alright. I think that's definitely one of those stories that would have done... I think there's stories or prompts that would do better longer. And I think that's one of them. But it exists. And so if I did ever want to expand it or write a different version of it, it's there. I have something to work with. And that is always, as is the point of this stream, whatever. is the point is to have something that you can work with, no matter how good or bad it is. It's better to have something than to have not something. I can't even claim that I haven't. I got plenty of sleep last night. I don't even have an excuse. I'm in a mood. Oh, that short film, I'm not going to say it threw me off, but it was so different. My brain is still like trying to be like, how the fuck do you write a sequel to this? Oh God. Because I don't look at the prompts as an opportunity. I look at them as a challenge. Like, yeah, I can make that work. And I'm looking at this one going, okay, so there's a sheep who's now a butterfly. Okay, I got that. And there's a ginger who crawls out of washing machines. Why not? So, I'm trying to load up the blog on one side. It's fighting me because I was gonna update the blog, but if it doesn't load up in the next second or so, then I don't want to waste any more of your time doing so. I can update it afterward. Yeah, no, the last couple days have been rough for technology. Some things updated and just... That's always really rough when things updated and my desktop is really old. I mean, it's 7 or 8 years and it's getting a little long in the tooth, as you might say. So some things don't work quite as well as they once did. So today there were several moments I was like, is this gonna work, or are we gonna have to like improvise on the other computer that doesn't have anything set up on it? So fortunately, we're here with kind of the usual setup for now. Probably would be better to run with that before it becomes, transition to the new computer before it becomes necessary. As opposed to, panicking one day and just having no choice. So we're gonna... what are we? We're number 14. So many. I was going to do a shout out or something on the 13th blog because, it's October, it's the 13th, but alas. Okay. And publish. So let's see. Is that loading in? There it is. There it is. Okay. So what are we going to do for our second story? Oh, well, first we're going to move this over. Wait. Did I miss... I did! I misnumbered them! Oh, no, I didn't... That's supposed to be number 4, and it's number 5, and so this was the 13th one! Shout out! Oh man, just everything's going wrong today. Oh, but it's unlucky number 13! So, I already did it! Huh! Go me! I don't know why I think that's so funny. Just the fact that I did what hotels do, where I skip the 13th one and go straight to the 14th. Except it is just the 14th. Thank you, little druid. I agree. It's hilarious. Oh, fuck me. So, but yeah, no, unlucky number 13. We're in the clear, right? That's how that works. Okay. So what else do we have? What are we gonna do today? I really like this one. I got a good laugh out of the typo there, and I still haven't decided how I want to do that. I could do this. I could do number 3, just because we went from fake god to real god. Fake guy god but trying to be real God, and then we could go to real God being completely useless at his job. If I did something I need to look up though, what is firmware? Permanent software programmed into a read-only memory. Okay. It's not actually that important. I just wanted any of my more computer savvy friends, I didn't want, if I do write this one, or when I do write this one, I didn't want any of my computer savvy friends to be like, that's not how that fucking works. And I'll be like, he's God, he can do anything he wants. And then throw myself away. And yeah, I mean, for anyone who was sitting around watching the Cosmos Laundromat? The Cosmos Laundromat. If anyone who watched that short film in the stream, do you guys have any idea, like, don't tell me how you would do a sequel, but, like, do you guys have any ideas for how you would do a sequel? Because oh, it's so much. It's such a wild concept. That yeah, I don't know. So I'm kind of between the locals speak in whispers and the world is spiraling out of control. It's just 2020. The locals speak in whispers and the world is spiraling out of control. Oh God, am I at the beginning of 2020, the year that the Kingkiller Chronicles came home to roost? This is just the beginning of Kingkiller. Okay. Yeah, no, still processing what I watched. There was so much going on. Right? LOL. No, it was just a lot. And it's like, my friend said it can be up to 800 words, but all of my stories are between like 250 and 300, and I'm like, there's so much. Okay. I think I'm gonna, because that one was kind of riding the line between silly and not, and so I'm gonna fix that, by the way. That is 14. Does that mean I was wrong in the blog as well? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Wait. Fuck it. I don't care. I give up. We'll fix it. We'll fix it in post. Okay. Locals speak in whispers about the hills and the forest. They warn to never travel alone, and under no circumstances should you let your flesh touch the plant life. Some say that, like the webs of a spider's lair, the pants announce your presence. Tip something larger. To the hills! Run to the hills! Run for your life! Okay, so we're gonna... Okay, so we're gonna start with a lone girl. My internet was wonky, so I missed plot points in the video, but if I get the general concept, you could have the ginger go on into another washer and help something else. Yeah, I mean, that's very true. I'd be reluctant to do that because I don't love sequels that are repetitious. I don't like feeling like I've already seen this thing. Except for, if it's something like... I mean, even Die Hard, I burned out on real fast, and the best sequel of the group is the one that's actually really different from the others in the franchise. I'm thinking of Die Hard 3. Even though it brings in, like, Jeremy Irons and the connection to the first film, but, like, it doesn't, it's not John McClane trapped in one area, or John McClane the superhero. So even something like that, I mean, I feel like that's also one of the problems that, like, I'm trying to think. Like Jurassic Park had and still has a problem with its sequels, kind of trying to be like, okay, what do we do now? Fuck it, go back Dinosaur Park. So like, that's part of the challenge is being like, okay, how do you take what's there and add something new so it's not just more of the same. Basically, I'm saying I hold myself to a weirdly high standard. All right. So back to the pants that are spiders. Me and my high standards, right? I entertain myself. Okay. A lone girl goes for a hike in the hills in Hilds, damn it, in the forest. She was warned. Okay. Local speaking whispers about the hills in the forest. I don't want another repeat of the heaven-hell thing. Leave it to the fucking atheist to be like, I couldn't tell the difference, so I wrote this... Did it say heaven or hell? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. The distinction's not that important. Okay. The local speak in whispers about the hills in the forest. They warn never to travel alone, and under no circumstances should you let your flesh touch the plant life. Some say, okay, not to touch. Follow their commands, obey their warnings. Sure. Pants spider. Okay. So, since I've actually written them all out, I'm going to do a thing that I haven't done for a while. Sometimes I do it when sometimes when I'm writing something longer or that I don't have a really strong mental grasp of, I will copy everything over so that as I'm going, I can see kind of as it's coming up. So, before I forget, so a thought just crossed my mind. Something about story structure and trilogies. This is in response to Scarlet Fury's idea about the sequel idea. I gotta get it out or my brain will never get back on track. There's a generally story structure likes to fall in 3-act structure. It's what a lot of people are familiar with. I use 5. I'm weird. I accept that. But it works for me. But I do like some of the breakdowns of 3-act structure because you end up with some of these really fun, descriptions of what you're looking at. One of my favorite, Aaron Sorkin said, Act 1, you chase your hero up a tree. Act 2, you throw rocks at them. And Act 2, you throw rocks at them. And Act 3, you get them down. Or you don't. A different one I really like, and I have these written down somewhere because I just thought it was neat. I thought it was neat. But the one I really like is thesis, antithesis, and then synthesis, where, you have... So if I was looking at this short film, it would be, this is the thesis. What is the antithesis to that? What is the kind of counterpoint? What is the, all right, we've chased the protagonist up the tree, now how do I throw rocks at them? So, what is kind of the twist or the reversal or the turn? And I don't know yet. But I kind of agree with Little Druid about still processing. So maybe next time. Oh god, next time is tomorrow. Fuck, that's not a lot of time to process. Soon. Okay. So, I like this. It's got a little... I mean, you can kind of see the shape of it already. It's got a bit of a little horror vibe, but hey, it's spooky season. So, a lone girl goes for a hike in the hills in the forest. I need a name. Fuck. Why do people need names, damn it? For anyone who's ever curious, I've got like some posters and stuff around the room, so I'm constantly just like, okay. What name can I steal from where? Cat. A lone girl named Cat. Okay. So, sorry, if I kind of zoned out. What I'm trying to do is, I live in the American Southwest. It has been a very long time since I got to spend any time in a forest, in the hills. So, just trying to remind myself what that even is like. Sharp shafts of light cut through the treetops high above, while gravel crunched beneath. Flip side, other thing I thought was, where does our Ginger go after the story is over? Why does he do what he does? Or can he have a backstory? I think if you do a backstory for a character like that, it's got to be something like... I don't know if Cass Loves Music is still in the chat, but it's got to be something like the Cube movies, where you watch the prequel and you're like, if you watch all the movies together, you just go, I have more questions. This is way more complicated and mysterious than when I started. So, again, something I would need to process more. For anyone who... Has anyone in the chat seen the Cube trilogy or any of the films in that trilogy? Because it's a wild little horror movie. I love the production story behind it. And there's some, rumor that there was going to be a fourth film that explained everything, but the creator, trunked it because he didn't want people to know. Who knows? But... Anyways. It's always funny the when I'm writing and you know I'll hit a phrase and I'm like, oh, that's just a song lyric that I really enjoy. In this case is Once Upon a Time from a musical that I don't remember what musical it was anymore, but I did it for a class. How the breeze rustled through her hair, how we always laughed as though tomorrow wasn't there. It was one of my favorite audition songs. I don't know what that says, considering I never really got cast in any musicals. But, you know, it was one of my... It's a beautiful song. Frank Sinatra has a cover of it. If you feel curious to go listen to Frank's cover, Once Upon a Time, Frank Sinatra. It's in his style. It's not in the original style of the musical, but whatever. Past? Past. Swayed. There's the word I'm looking for. Swayed. If anyone was watching my camera just going, there's a word for this. Can't think of what it is, though. This is probably the hard, or the most vulnerable part about writing for an audience, writing in front of people, is there are those moments, and I think we all have them, but as a writer, there's an expectation of, like, a command of the English language, when instead you're like, what the fuck is a wall called? The floor, the side floor. God damn it, now I'm just like, that's a Lord of the Rings quote. Get out of my brain. Let me write other things. This forest is old. Very old. I like to think that I have a personality, but it just seems to be a weird conglomeration of movie quotes that I saw between the ages of 9 and, like, 24. Your guy Riley. Hello! How's it going? Okay. Perhaps that's... Wait, what was I writing? Perhaps that's... Going fantastic. Good for you. I don't remember what that's like, but good for you. I never get above, like, I got off the floor. I got out of bed. So, you know. You write? I try to. I'll let you be the judge. Okay. Perhaps that's why the locals have been so skittish about her presence. How about you? Your guy Riley, do you write? Do. Perhaps that's why the locals have been so skittish about a presence about an outsider coming into their woods. Outsider coming into their woods. I just entered your stream and already I'm laughing. That's good. That's what I'm here for. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. Yeah, kick your shoes off, make yourself at home. Okay, perhaps that's why the locals have been so skittish about her presence by outsiders tromping beneath their ancient bows. That makes it sound like the locals have ancient bows. These ancient bows? I am gonna just double check really fast. Is there actually a cutoff for how old something has to be to be ancient? My phone is telling me I'm offline. My computer is still offline. Are you a fan of black and white cartoons? You know, truth be told, I haven't watched too many. I've seen a handful. I saw like spooky, scary skeletons, but I can't think of any others. So, do you have any in mind? Right, this mouse no longer is. Okay, so I can. I'm gonna go with aged, and make sure I'm using bows right. That's not how you spell that. I just spelled it wrong the same way twice. The main branch of a tree. Cool. So I am in the right spot. About an outsider electron in these ancient bows. So let's see what... she just came out with a documentary on the first animated Disney series. Hell yeah, cool. You can drop it in the chat. I gotta finish this up, though, so I can't promise I'll get to it. Warn you never trouble. They warn to never travel alone, and under no circumstances should you let your flesh touch them. Alright, thanks. I will try and get to that. Okay, never... They warned her to never travel alone. They warned her never to travel past dusk. Hell yeah, cool. They warned her to never travel alone. They warned her, don't travel past dusk. spite of her skepticism, Kat kept her hands to herself, or so she had tried. Okay, in spite of her skepticism, Kat kept her hands to herself, or so she had tried. One step, one bad bit of footing. Okay. Despite her skepticism, Kat kept her hands to herself, for so she had tried. One misstep, a bad bit of footing, and she slid off the trail, skidding down a short outcropping. Her hand flashed out, grabbing hold of Kat jerked to a stop, the branch bending under her weight. Thundered in her chest. She held her breath, waiting to see if it would hold her weight. The branch held. She pulled against him, dragging herself back onto the trail. Woo! Alrighty then. Sorry if I went a little quiet there. Sometimes it's easier to talk while I write, and other times I'm working on it. I'm trying. But let's see what we got. We've got... Copy that over. Hopefully that didn't work too bad. I feel like this one could have worked in a way different than I wrote it, which I guess is a weird thing to say immediately upon finishing it, but a trick that Stephen King likes to use, I feel like could have worked here. Stephen King is pretty good about taking and saying, this character's gonna die. And then just playing it out. He does it really hard in the first chapter of It, and then also throughout the story, where he basically tells you what's going to happen And then that's what happens. But he still manages to make it really engaging. And I feel like that could have worked here. But honestly, I just didn't think of it. So, sharp shafts of light cut through the treetops high above, while gravel crunched under Kat's hiking boots. She paused, inhaling deep, enjoying the light breeze that rustled through her brown hair, cut just past her shoulders. The trees swayed back and forth, their deep rumblings creating a low resonance that existed beneath even what... Excuse me, I had tacos for lunch. That existed beneath even what she could hear. But she felt it. She felt the age of the trees in her bones, a kinship beyond words. Perhaps that's why the locals have been so skittish about her presence, about an outsider like her tromping beneath these aged boughs. She had heard nothing but warnings since coming to the area. Time and again she heard the same fearful whispers about the hills and the forest. They warned her to never travel alone. They warned her to never travel past dusk. And they also warned her to never let your flesh touch the plant life. They said the forest was like the webs of a spider's lair, that touching them would announce your presence to something larger, something in the hills. She didn't believe in such things, but even so, she shuddered at the thought. In spite of her skepticism, Kat kept her hands to herself, or so she had tried. One misstep, one bad bit of footing, and she slipped off the trail, skidding down a short outcropping. Her hand flashed out, grabbing a hold of a nearby branch, the only thing she could reach. Kat jerked to a stop, the branch bending under the weight. Her weight. While her heart thundered in her chest, she held her breath, waiting to see if it would hold her weight. Okay, so we've got some repetition there. See if it would hold. She held her breath, waiting to see if it would hold. The branch held. It did? While her heart thundered in her chest, she held her breath, waiting to see if it would hold. It did. I mean, if you get really noodly, you can totally fall into the rabbit hole of just rewriting the same, 2 or 3 sentences over and over and over again. Okay. While her heart thundered in her chest, she held her breath, waiting to see if the branch would hold. It did. She pulled against it, dragging herself back onto the trail where she deposited herself in the onto the hard-packed dirt and rolled onto her back, panting. Dragging herself back onto the trail where she deposited herself onto the hard-packed dirt. She rolled onto her back, panting. Holy shit, she said to herself, still catching her breath. She never even noticed the dark shadow fall across her before she was taken. So, not too bad. Again, this one, I'd almost like another crack at, or I just want to write a longer version of it, you know? I'm actually pretty happy with how that turned out. So, yeah. I love forests. So growing up in the Midwest and then moving to, the American Southwest, going from the Midwest forest and farmlands and stuff to just, Nevada, it is something that I miss, but I miss that kind of, let's use the word history. I miss that history, that feeling of these things have been here, long before you, and outside of things like climate change and deforestation and all the fun stuff we do, these things are supposed to be here long after we're gone. And there's a power there. I mean, I'd love to live in a place like that again. Yeah, just so much history, so much richness. Ooh, thank you. I'm glad you liked it. And then I think I got it uploaded into the blog, so you can always reread it there. I think, yeah, I fixed the da-da-da. The title is what that's called. So yeah, I feel like this could have actually been kind of like a longer first chapter. I'd actually kind of, I think that's the sign of, if not a good flash fiction, I I don't know if I love this story on its own, but I really want to know what happens next, if that makes sense. If you understand the distinction. Like, I want to know what kind of, like, Blair Witch, kind of story is gonna follow. So, all right. Well, I think that's where we're gonna leave off for today. We got 2 short stories. They're done. Again, always feel free to throw me a new prompt. Yeah. Unless anyone else has anything to say in the chat. I think that's all I have to say. I think that's all I have to write. I'll see you tomorrow. Same time. So. Bye-bye.